What's up, everyone? So it's Tuesday, second day of the week, and we are live today. And we are going to talk about like your whole story will dictate your future. That's the topic we are going to be talking about. So, hope you guys are kicking ass on your day and having the best day ever. I'm having the best day ever. So, one of the things like I did today is like I adjusted like according to what my how my day went. So I didn't couldn't hit the gym like in the morning. Sometimes like even I have to drag myself, especially when it's leg day, because not everybody is a fan of that day, but including me. But like I keep pushing, like dragging my ass like to go to the gym. So that's how I dominate. So Ashan, how are you doing today? So how was your day? And he's from Sri
Yeah,
Lanka. Yeah.
it's pretty much the same because these days, I start off with training sessions, so that actually gave me the opportunity to wake up early in the morning, and so whatever it is, I have to wake up by 5 now, whereas last year
Yes.
it was different. Entire year was different. I didn't wake up this early, so yeah, there you go. Have moved on from the previous year. So it's good. It's not easy every day. Waking up, sometimes you just want to sleep in. It's just like
Yes.
the leg day, right? But
Yeah.
when your work is forcing you to bring in good habits, it's good. I mean, you feel changes happening whether you like it or not.
Yes. Exactly. So exactly like we wake up with a amazing purpose, like to change
Yeah.
lives, like make people's lives better. So that's why we come live to like give you more value for your day. And yeah, I wake up at 5 o'clock too, and because of like unexpected situations happened, like I was able to adjust because I still had time. So
Yeah.
that's the advantage of waking up in the morning. And waking up in the morning is actually one of the best things I've ever done, and that's one of the biggest changes which has happened in our lives. Because I used to be a person who used to sleep like till late. That's what I loved. And when I was a kid, like one of the things like I wanted to do, like when I did not know what my purpose was, I was
Yeah.
telling like people around me the fact that like I'm gonna sleep when I grow old, and that's all I'm gonna do. Because when I wake up in the morning, I have to go to school. That required me to wake up in the morning. So that's one of the things like I didn't not doing anymore. So when I grew up, like I was actually turned out to be the complete opposite. So today's topic is actually something relating to that. So your old story will dictate your future. So what I mean by that is like in 2022, if you had a bad year, if you keep repeating that to yourself, like talking about it like about to your loved ones or anything, what happens is you're just re-signing that contract. So let me put it out there again. So you are re-signing an old contract of yours. So when you re-sign your old contract, you're just that's gonna dictate your future. Because your future self is not dependent on like your past. Maybe you had like a bad childhood. Like if you keep going there, it's not gonna help the cause or your purpose about the future. So also at the same time, one of the other factors would be the fact that like when you doesn't just apply to your fitness journey, it applies to a lot of things. We will actually deep dive into it as well. So what you need to do is just not re-sign that contract what you had like in 2022. So if you've been a person who's been like, if you had a family like where like, your whole family was overweight or skinny, like if that's your future, what's going to happen is like you are accepting that old contract. Like you don't need to do that. You have the power to change whatever the hell you do, right, Ashan?
Yeah, that's true. I think this is the point where people talk about genetics too, right?
Yes,
They say that
exactly.
my family is like this. This is what I bring in from my parents. But you really don't know how genetically gifted you are until you work on it. So
Yes.
that's one thing that I want to mention. And the other is that yeah, when you resign the contract, whether it's a bad year or a good year, I think you should move on from both. Now, for
Yes.
me, I actually had a very good year in terms of competing, in terms of coaching. Last year, I actually got my first placings in a competition, but immediately I forced myself to move on from it because I want my next year to be better. Either my placing should come up, or maybe to go on for the pro card. So if I stay with my old mindset, I did well. I might not reach my best the next year because I'm much more stronger, and I hope that I'm smarter compared to last year, right? So
Yes.
I just don't want to be overconfident in terms of that. So it's a new year. So whether it's good or bad, my opinion is that you still got to move on.
Yes, exactly. So here's one of the excuses like I see like people saying like I do everything, like I have followed programs and everything, but I don't get results. Like I don't lose weight or anything. That's how it is like with my life because my background is like that. Like my parents are like overweight and all of those things. So what you need to realize is like, did you actually follow the program? Because like most of the people like who do say that like when they actually come to us like they keep doing what they did before, like you just go back to that mindset of like doing what they used to do. And what you need to understand is when you go for a program, what happens is you need to change because what you were doing before did not work. You need to get that in your head, and you need to come to a place in your life where you should realize what works is change. And what you used to do with someone else or like with yourself did not work. That's why you come to us in order to get better results. So this is where our coaching changed, and like what got us like get better results last year. So many results like which you do, which I we'll talk about later on, like because some of the transformation hasn't been even posted yet. So we look forward to like showing like more people because they didn't actually like transform in 12 weeks time. They actually went beyond that like to get like to like a whole new level. So if you've seen like competitors competing, they started from rock bottom and they just focused on habits and rituals, making small changes without actually going into stuff like overtraining, like working too much on themselves. So that's what actually got results because even Ashan is one of them. Like one of the things he did was like he did not sign the old contract when he started working with me. One of the things he did was going into a new contract, right, Ashan?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the first contract was in 2017, right?
Yes.
So yeah, every year. But I have to admit that I was overconfident. At the time period, especially 2019, I kind of knew that I knew it all, and since I was competing. But then 2019 towards the end was a good reality check when I went to Goa, where then only I knew that the competition was way higher than what was going in my head. So yes, it was a good reality check. So these things happen, from that point onwards only I decided that whatever happens, I have to bring a new version every year, because again, even if the previous year was good, what's the point, keeping it at the same point, because you're going to get sick of it anyway after a while, right? So it's just a matter of making progress and moving on. So since 2017, I believe that I have been renewing the contract, bringing a good self out of me. So that's what I'm planning to do this year. It's the second day, and yeah, so I'm even more motivated than I was last year, simply because uh, I don't have the previous years going in my head right now. Well, what I
Exactly.
have is right now, and most probably tomorrow. That's as far as I might go with my thinking.
Yes, exactly. So, especially like for those who are actually going through a troublesome time, like one of the things which happens to them is like they go back to their past, like mistakes or past behaviors. And if you keep like repeating that story, like if you, let's say, if you've been going through a breakup, like if you are actually like talking about it, like right now, what's going to happen is you're just re-signing that contract. Like that happens, like what you need to do is just get over it. It's not an easy thing to do, but when you get over it, like you need to sign a new contract. You just shouldn't repeat the old story in your life. When you more you repeat, more it dictates your future. So this is where you need to have a proper mindset in terms of like understanding. Like you need to have a new contract every year to yourself. Um, like one thing you need to do is just evaluate yourself what you did like the year before, and based on that like focus on like what you need to improve and work on it, and focus on like signing yourself a new contract, like keeping yourself the word of like making changes this year in order to become your best version. So Ashan, is there anything you want to add with regards to that?
Well, I think I mentioned the main point. Whether it's a good year or a bad year, you have to move on from both. That's one thing. And after that, personally for me, what I'm trying to do is, it's not that I don't have a future plan, but I focus on the action that I have to take today. Because no matter how much you plan, things in life happen the way it wants, right? You're going to face the challenges, and you will have to step down a little bit. So because of that, I mean, it's easier to take one day at a time. So as an example, I have a meal plan to follow today, I have a workout plan to follow, I have my clients to train, and once that is done, that's it. I just want to do that 100% because that is going to make me better tomorrow. Because thinking a lot about the future and thinking a lot about the past, it really keeps you at the same point, because you're anxious and you're worried all the time. Okay, let's say that you had a good year, you're worried if it will be a good year this year as well. That is even worse, right? At least, if you had a bad year, you have that motivation to go on. So that's what, there are certain things that you need to do. But slow down and take action. So all the clients who are working with us, so we have given you a plan. There's nothing much that you have to do other than follow it exactly and give you 100%. And
Yes.
same old thing again, discipline and consistency. I know that you might be sick and tired of hearing this, but
Yes.
that has to be that, because that is the reality.
Exactly. So, discipline and consistency is the key, and make sure you don't actually repeat yourself an old story of yours in order for your future to be dictated. So, make sure to like create new stories right now, this moment, in order for you, your future self, to become your best version. So, that's it. That's all. Hope you enjoyed this live, and have a great day, guys. Let's dominate the year. Let's become your better version this year. Have a great day.